The current year is 1589, and Argentina has lost even more. They no longer are in the Peru-Bolivian region, and they are now fully in Argentina and Chile. Can they truly survive in this world is unknown to me, very unknown. But New Providence has formed Cuba over here. We have New Spain battling it out over a lot of these other regions and the Zuni Federation. Cool, 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 cool. I do believe a few things have happened, but I'll leave all of you to see them because Bukhara is beating up the Russians and a bunch of other cool little tidbits here and there. But I don't think anything absolutely crazy has happened. The current great powers list is Spain, France, Ottomans, Commonwealth, Portugal, Great Britain, Korea, Denmark. Nothing out of the complete ordinary. Usually Denmark and Korea will never get on the Great Powers list, but of course, Austria and Russia have fallen in the graces of power. And if I had a guess, I would say probably Denmark's going to go next, or maybe the Commonwealth. One of those two is probably going to fall off the Great Powers list, and then it's going to be an absolute crapshoot. But all we care about is whether La Plata can make it. Can they survive another war with Portugal? Can they survive anything near that? I guess we're going to have to see and hope that La Plata can survive, or else they're going to fail. They're going to do worse than Angola. The year is currently 1750, quite a while into the future, and La Plata still remains. Most because they managed to ally the French, and Portugal is unwilling to fight the French because the French are too powerful. But as we go so far into the future, many, many changes are to happen. Mali has fallen, and the Ottomans have pushed into the Horn of Africa, also allowing Kilwa to expand there. Congo has fallen to the British, and Kilwa has lost stuff to the British. So many people have lost stuff. It is insane. Westphalia formed, and then managed to conquer Denmark, because Denmark somehow conquered all of Scandinavia after Sweden, and Iceland managed to break free in Norway at some point, but they got eaten again by Britain. The Commonwealth also took over a lot of Scandinavia as well. If you look at this, they have most of southern Sweden and Copenhagen from Denmark. But of course now they are being full occupied by France, Spain, and Westphalia. So they are no longer in a position of power. France has all of southern Italy, and Spain has managed to PU Austria. Yes, they should have. Yes, they have in fact PU'd Austria. And vassalized Augsburg. Didn't really care about that one though. Spain has a lot of North Africa and Northern Sub-Saharan Africa. And the Ottomans have actually lost a few wars. They lost to the Commonwealth in a French Commonwealth defense, and they lost Bosnia. Then they lost to the French in a 1v1 war. I think it was the French war first, then the Commonwealth War, if you want to keep a timeline here. Russia collapsed, as well as Bukhara, allowing Bashkiria and Yaroslavl to become true masters of the north. Wu kind of blew up. Wu is now everywhere in the Far East. They have taken a lot of Siberia over, including still managing to hold on to their Chinese territory. And the current great power list is Delhi, Vijayanagar, Commonwealth, Westphalia, Portugal, France, the Ottomans, Spain. Now, of course, There's still a lot more things going on. Dai Viet had broken up and then had to reconquer itself, and Vijayanagar is now quickly expanding into every single territory they can. The Timurids have also done that. Delhi was actually now formed by Bengal. Bengal had to conquer Delhi from the original Delhi, which got absolutely murked by the Timurids and Malwa. But of course now Malwa is getting murked because they are the weakest. Makes all the sense in the world. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot going on. Until the fall of the Commonwealth, not much is going to happen because, well, the Commonwealth is the next to fall, and that will be when all heck breaks loose in Europe. Kind of like when Bohemia collapsed, or when Denmark collapsed. It will cause many new wars to break out, and possibly a new Holy Roman Emperor, because at the current age and current time, the Holy Roman Empire still exists, and it's led by the Commonwealth, the new emperor, because the original emperor was Bohemia, who is now an OPM, because they got declared war on by Spain and France so often that they just could not keep their empire together. I think there was at least 5 French wars that they had to contend with within probably close to 50 years. Bohemia was crushed under the weight and stress. Will the Commonwealth also fall under such stress? Because it's looking likely. Beyond that, though, can La Plata continue to be in alliance with France? And will that alliance truly keep them safe from an ever-growing Spain, who has in recent years managed to quickly, and I mean quickly, gain a lot of development over its rivals? Will this truly be the end for La Plata? Or is it just the beginning? Will they manage to survive even with these Portuguese colonies all over their backs? I guess we'll just have to see. The current year is 1800, and Argentina is still alive to some miracle of God. Currently, they are not allied to the French, and the Portuguese could go after them at any moment, but that seems impossible. They just can't wrap their heads around invading Argentina for some reason. Beyond that, Europe has gone into crazy mode, with revolutionary France popping up with no revolution on the map currently, and Westphalia taking over most of Scandinavia. Also, Lithuania has broken free. The Commonwealth has been bullied into a corner, pretty much. And a few other nations have been wiped out by the Ottomans, which they have now basically cut the world in half. Iceland up here is still very much alive, nothing too crazy. Kilwa is still managing to hold on, and the Timurids have taken over Tibet. Wonderful days. Vij is slowly trying to conquer all of India, which they're probably succeeding pretty well at. Wu has become Russia, pretty much, with taking over most of Siberia. They are currently losing to the Ottomans, but that does not matter to us, because really, all we should be concerned about is what's happening to Argentina. Can Argentina survive in a world where they have no allies and they are bordering the Portuguese? Well, they shouldn't, but I have a bad feeling that they are, and they only have to survive 21 more years. Can they do it? Will they fail at the last stretch? I guess we'll have to see, but Portugal is in a very, very good position, with the Great Powers list looking like Spain at 1, Ottomans at 2, Revolutionary France in 3rd, Portugal in 4th, Westphalia in 5th, Vij at 6th, 7th is the Timurids, and Wu in 4th, with the Ottomans being a hegemon. It seems like Portugal may actually succeed, because they are allied to the number one great power, and no one dares to rival the strength of the Habsburgs. So, it looks like Argentina will be fed to the wolves, unless they can survive for 21 measly years. It is officially the end of the game, 1820. La Plata has made it, or if you still want to call them Argentina, sure. They have managed to survive against the Portuguese onslaught on their own for 20 years. No alliances, nothing to help them defensively. They are simply independent. Now, in this world, there are many, many crazy things that are happening. Some can include the French going Anglican or becoming revolutionized or taking Greece. Anything can be strange. The Ottomans becoming the new Russia. Woo! Not being the Emperor of China while definitely being stronger than the Emperor of China. Very confusing stuff. Vij is the great power of India, while the Timurids still have not formed the Mughal Empire. Just weird things overall. Not things that are too concerning, except for the Westphalia thing. This is the first time Westphalia is even formed late game. Or Spain taking over all of Austria, or France taking all of Italy, or the Ottomans taking all of Russia. These are potentially great power areas that simply got removed from the game. And if we went far enough, I bet Great Britain would also eventually hit the chopping block. And of course, the Commonwealth would be extinguished as well. But by this part of the game, the great powers are as follows: Spain, the Ottomans, Revolutionary France, Portugal, Westphalia, Vijayanagara, Great Britain, and the Timurids, with every single great power slot being filled up at one point. The Ottomans were the economic hegemon, while France became the diplomatic/naval, and Spain became the military hegemon, with annexing all of Austria and what not. Overall, nothing too mind-boggling happened. It's not like we didn't have a Great Britain, but it is kind of weird that revolutionary France, instead of Great Britain, is the naval powerhouse of the world. The British colonies over here were extinguished, but France actually got the Frisian Louisiana territories, even though Frisia is definitely not a thing anymore. They got annexed by Spain. Overall, the world has seen many, many changes, and very, very little countries actually remain on the map. Overall, La Plata made it. That is all we care about. The bottom line is Argentina survives. So why do we care about anyone else? Argentina is the nation that we must now look to for inspiration, as they have managed to survive several Portuguese invasions and still managed to survive.